Hey, this is Lo with Soul Harbor, and you are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good morning, everyone out there. It is March 2nd, 2020. We are moving into March Madness, or whatever you want to call it, because we never know what March is going to give us as far as weather. But today it's okay. The rain is holding off. It was supposed to be raining today, but it's kind of But it's, it's comfortable. You can walk outside, you can stroll, and even outside across the street, you can see that the boutique is open, and they're not open on Mondays, so go visit them. I am Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News at Downtown Conroe, Lone Star Community Radio, FM 104.5, 106.1, also on Our City TV. And guests today are Jennifer Lander. She's going to talk about the U.S. Census, what that means to you, what it means to her and her organization. She's with Community Assistance Center. And then we're going to have Annette Spikes, who is going to talk to us about the Rising Stars and Legends of Texas. And in particular, she's going to talk about the night that's a gospel night, and going to talk about the history of gospel music through all the genres and what that's going to look like. So a big event is coming into downtown Conroe, March 12th through 21st. It's the Rising Stars and Legends of Texas, and most of the events are free. So she's going to talk to us about that. And then we're going to also hear from Susie Pokorski, who's going to tell us about the Young Texas Artist Music Competition. And that's gets young people 18 to 30 throughout the country to come and compete. And you can hear them compete, the finals, at March 14th after their Bach, Beethoven, and Barbecue Gala fundraiser, and the tickets are available for $28, and it's open seating at the Crichton Theater. So we have those guests coming up, and a couple of other things is this Friday starts the Little Shop of Horrors over at the Owen Theater, and that will continue with their final performance March 22nd, and you can go to owentheater.com and get tickets. There will be a free preview with different selections and some of the actors from the show on March 18th as part of the Rising Stars and Legends of Texas. So, and then we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Friday, this coming Friday, there's going to be a poetry slam at Bean Punk Coffee at 6:30 p.m. Of course, you know, Bean Punk used to be Conroe Coffee, and they are directly across the street from the courthouse on Main Street, on the east side of the courthouse. So that's free. You can go by there Friday, 6:30. Johnny and the Spin Stations will be at Pacific Yard House, and they will be rocking it out Saturday. They're a lot of fun to dance to, listen to. The Paul Ramirez Band is going to be doing some rock, country, funk, rhythm, and blues at the Corner Pub, always free, starts at 9 p.m. on Saturday. And Stingray Anthony will be doing his rock and roll thing Sunday, March 8th, 3 p.m. with 50s music at the Crichton Theater. So I'm sure you can find something to do in downtown Conroe. And starting this Friday is the Madeley National Invitational Art Exhibit, and they have 64 exhibits from across the country. And I just talked to Brett Hall a little bit, but they're getting ready to put them all up, and then they have their monthly reception on Saturday night from 5 to 8 p.m., and yes, there will be wine. So go check out the exhibit. It's a big deal. 64 different art items from across the country all competing. So there's always a lot going on in downtown Conroe. But with that, we are going to talk with Jennifer Landers of Community Assistance Center, and she's going to tell us what's going on with the U.S. Census.
Thank you so much for having me. So a lot of folks don't understand the importance of the census, and so we were looking to get out there and start talking to people, and Conroe does a great job of it. Nancy McKeska and the mayor really lead a great complete count committee and go out in full force, but the rest of our county is really underrepresented and talking about the census. And why it's a big deal is there's $675 billion at play each year for the next 10 years. And
Total, the whole country.
Total, but okay. Everyone gets a pretty big piece of that. And that goes to schools. TEA has 2 formula grants that they get from the federal government that they filter out into each of the schools for budgetary purposes. That's like free and reduced lunch, Medicare, transportation, roads, SNAP programs, so food stamp programs,
Government-funded
housing,
programs.
any kind of those government-funded programs, and things that we're already struggling with here in Montgomery County. Transportation, housing, that kind of stuff. And so it's been a really contentious conversation this year because everybody's worried about the citizen question, but that's not on there, so nobody has to worry about that. And the reason why I'm here today is the first mailing goes out March 12th. So
that's next Thursday, a week from Thursday.
Exactly. So that'll hit everyone's mailbox. And it's very simple to fill out. It is 9 questions total. And one of the big populations that's undercounted are children. Most people don't think about putting their children on there, or especially babies that are new. Anyone who is living in the household at the time of the census mailing counts, whether they're a foreign exchange student or another family member. Some of those that have multi-generational
extended
folks
families.
are undercounted a lot of times. So it is super important because Conroe and Montgomery County are both fastest growing in the U.S. I mean,
the numbers matter.
Numbers matter. People matter.
People matter.
This is a chance for everyone to be involved in shaping what our community looks like in the future. And so that's why it's so important to us at Community Assistance Center, but also for everybody in Montgomery County. And we have 20 tracks within Montgomery County that are low response. So that means folks that are undercounted or not counted at all. And for
give me an example of what you're talking about.
So undercounted means you didn't put everyone in your household, or there's two.
So there's
families
different
living.
pockets of areas
Yes.
throughout the county
Yeah, so-
where it has been true that this is consistently happening.
Yes, actually, I can tell you we typically have 20 tracks, and out of that, 25% of our population is low or no response. So that's a huge number of folks, especially as we've grown so much. The other thing is we have transient populations in some areas. So in some of the mobile home areas or apartment, it's very low response in those areas as well. So we're trying to get out there and do some outreach and make sure everybody knows that that they count and that it's really important that we hear from them.
Is your organization physically going out there and doing
We're
this?
doing a lot of outreach. We actually are in the process of getting an additional outreach person that will be here through the duration of the census to be going out and into some of these questionable areas or places where we know that folks are likely to not respond. Because the other big thing I haven't even mentioned is redistricting. So in 2010, that's how we got Cecil Bell's seat. It was between us and North Carolina, and we eked out just by a
It's all about the
bit.
population.
It is. And
Yeah.
so for every 100,000 folks, we get more representation, and that's how we get more funding, and that's how we get more of a voice, both
Sure.
in the Texas House, but also in
It's
Washington
just very
as
important
well.
for resources
It is. It
for
is.
everybody that lives here.
And as the population continues to age, that Medicare piece is getting to be more and more important, and then transportation as well. So that's a piece that we continue to struggle with here. And the majority of the population that we serve, that low income or right on the verge of being low income, the working poor, they need as much help as they can get. And so we want to bring as many dollars and have as much representation here. So we want our piece of the pie,
Sure.
to make sure that we're helping our folks.
Well, and you are the only organization that serves the most vulnerable populations throughout the county. It's
Right.
not geo-tagged. It's all of Montgomery County, northeast, southwest.
Sure.
So you have people that do outreach and do different things to help, or they can come to your office
Mm-hmm.
and get assistance with basic needs throughout the year.
Right. And then this year is the first year for the census that you can actually do it online. So every address will get the mailing in the mail, but you can go online as early as March 12th to start with your address. Just put it in and you can fill out your census form. when you get it in, you can also do it by phone. Or after the second mailing, which will be March 21st, enumerators will start to come around and knock on your door. So
if you haven't responded, they will come to you.
yes, they'll come to you. They'll be able to help with answering any questions. They have it in, right now, I believe it's 37 different languages online. They even have it in Braille.
Wow.
So it's easy for everybody to have what they need to get
And
this
it's 10
done.
questions. So
It is. It's actually nine questions, and we're all set. So it's very simple, and it really is just about who's living in the household, the age of everyone who's living in the household, ethnicity.
Well, it's to provide services. So
It
they
is.
need to know
We need to know who's
a good number. This is only every 10 years. It's not
Exactly.
difficult.
Exactly.
So,
And we've been
it's
doing
kind of
it-
like when you see those signs on the road that population is 500,000 and ours is eking to 600,000 or so,
so.
right? I think. I remember, I think it was about 10 years ago, it was around 400,000. So it's just moving fast. So this is really important. So how do they know about duplication? So let's say you go online and you do it in the mail.
So what we understand, the process after all the enumerators come out and once they think the count is over. So true Census Day is April 1st, and then they'll continue to go. Right now, they're also going to all of like the nursing homes and the jails and shelters and knocking on those doors and getting counts of who's been kind of their average and that kind of stuff. So they'll be doing that throughout the time period too, so that those folks are counted because that's all one address. But it's just, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but after the 12th of March and then the 21st of March, after the enumerators are out, it takes a full year and a half for them to really scrub the data. So
But they will.
They
so,
will. So they'll
yeah.
check for duplications. Since it's based on one address, it's pretty simple. And so the good thing about it is if you answer and if your family member answers and y'all are both in the same
And you
address,
didn't know, yeah.
right, then, hopefully they can get a consensus of numbers. So if you put 7,
They'll
they put
figure it
5,
out.
they'll figure it out, but they'll know,
Right.
Hopefully.
Just
that
do it.
Exactly. I would say it's better to have too many than no one doing it.
Right,
So,
right,
because they
right.
really do, they scrub the data. It takes a while before we get it. By the end of this year, though, it's typically given to the president for his blessing, and then in April, they get it in Congress for redistricting. So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's
So
a really
it's very important.
neat process. I mean, it's been happening for 230 years. So, I mean, they have it down, I think, to a fine science. And they're really getting to people where they are now. So, with the addition this year of online, it's simplifying the process for everybody. So, it's not paper forms, but there still is paper forms for the population that want or need them.
Sure.
And they look at the area. So, if it's more of a bilingual area, you'll get the form in both English and Spanish. And then every other language is online available.
And you were saying that it's also available at your
We
physical
will have
building?
a what they call a question assistant. So folks can come in, we'll have a computer there, we'll have a representative there that can help walk somebody through the questions or help them answer it right there if it's easier for that, if someone's not sure how to respond to it or they're not sure exactly what it's asking. It
You get some
seems
assistance
simplified,
doing it.
but when you look at it, it can be confusing at
Sure.
different times. But I just tell everyone right now, careful what you look at in your mail. Don't just chunk it. It says what
US
it is right
Census.
on the front, and it has your address. It says to the resident at this address, and that's it. So just kind of keep an eye out.
Keep it-
March 12th.
All the
and March
political
20th.
stuff will be done tomorrow,
Yes,
so
yes.
it won't be a political thing.
Right, it won't be, and they're not asking for money or anything like that. So it's okay to open it.
It's okay. So, are you the only organization in Montgomery County that's doing this, or are other ones doing it as well?
I feel like we're kind of taking the lead, but the United Way has started pulling folks together. We're talking to all of our partners because the other thing is just for trusted sources to talk to folks about it. Let people, especially those that might feel like it's questionable whether or not they should answer because of citizenship
Right.
or anything like that. So we've partnered with congregations so that they're talking about it and letting folks know what's important. And
They're
then
trusted sources.
other organizations where folks trust them for assistance and
Right.
kind of give them a lot of their most vulnerable information. So we're pulling all of our folks together that we normally partner with and just asking them to
Right.
go out as well. And then we actually were able to get some funding from the Houston Endowment to get a outreach person to help us during
Oh,
this
excellent.
time. Because, I mean, everybody is kind of max capacity with what we're asking them to do now in our organization. So it's great that they were able to come up with some funding and help us be able,
Good.
to do printing and that kind of stuff, not out of our budget. So it was great.
So tell everyone a little bit about Community Assistance Center.
So Community Assistance Center is formerly Montgomery County Emergency Assistance, and we serve individuals and families that are struggling financially. So if there's a job loss or some sort of financial crisis, then we're there to help stabilize them, help keep them stably housed, pay rent or mortgage, utility assistance, any type of help someone might need, prescription assistance, transportation to medical or job interviews. And then we have lots of outreach programs. One of them that's coming up is our summer stock program. And it's now one of my favorite programs, but that's for kids that are typically on free and reduced lunch, and it's a kids' food pantry. So they get to come in and get food.
I love that.
That they can
That was a long
use
time coming.
during the summer that really helps. Summer's hard for families. Not only are some parents having to work and the kids are staying at home, but those food bills go up and other things, which then tend to tip folks' budgets right over the edge
Right.
if they're already struggling. So I love that program. And then we have back to school that we're already starting to think about, even though we're not even out of school yet. But we work with 6 of the school districts here in Montgomery County, and we give vouchers to the counselors, and then they start coming in August for back to school, and they get 3 outfits, a pair of shoes, a package of socks and undies that are provided by United Way, Project Undercover, and then a backpack with school supplies. So we usually have a kickoff event for that, and last year we did haircuts and some other
Right.
things. So we really try and help get these kids started on an even keel with everybody
And it's
else.
very important with peer pressure.
It is.
and all of that.
It is. And then also for families, again, that's a spike that kind of helps. If we cover that for a family, they're not going into debt or they're not spiraling, their budget out of control. So we're not, as you said earlier, we're not zip code restrictive. So anyone in Montgomery County, and we're not income restrictive. So we have folks in all different brackets. Hurricane Harvey brought different folks out that never needed assistance before because they didn't have flood insurance, and the oil crisis brought different folks out that
Job loss, anything.
job loss, things like that were unexpected.
Any kind of changes
exactly.
in
So
a
that's why we're
family, or
here.
maybe there's a divorce, or you don't know what's going on, but they wouldn't come to you if they didn't need help.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, people think that oftentimes there's duplicate services. That really is not the norm.
No, we say it's not duplication of services. For us, we partner with Interfaith of the Woodlands. We partner with Society of Samaritans. We partner with Mission Northeast. None of us can do it alone. Our population continues
important.
to grow. And if it wasn't for all of us working together, we couldn't serve the numbers
No,
that
you
we're
can't.
able to serve. And rents are getting higher. And so,
Sure.
in order to serve the most folks, we collaborate and we each put a piece in that then stabilizes these
Mm-hmm.
folks. And sometimes it takes more than 1 month of rent to stabilize them. So we definitely need partners because,
Because the funding,
exactly.
and then
So
you're probably serving more seniors too.
we are. We see a huge increase of services for seniors. We also administer Entergy's Power to Care, which is for seniors or those with a disability in their household. And it helps during those, I always say it's for those spiking months. So for winter months or summer months where those living on fixed incomes might really struggle. And, it's really important, not just us. Entergy always says this. I've heard Sally say it many times, for folks not to be choosing between paying a light bill or getting a prescription, or paying a light bill or getting food. Our seniors should never have to do that. And so they're great partners of ours, and we are able to help lots and lots of people, thousands of people every year because of them with utility assistance.
So you need money.
Always.
like other nonprofits, and you do so many different services. And one of the things you do is have fundraisers.
We do.
So you have one coming up.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So we are so excited. This is our annual Legacy Luncheon. It's happening April 22nd. It's at the Woodlands Waterway Marriott. This year we're growing. We outgrew our other space, so we're very excited. It's starting at 10:30 a.m. We have mimosas and our silent auction starts. And then our speaker is Liz Murray, whose book, Breaking Night, she's most known actually for her Lifetime movie.
I saw that movie. I remember that.
Her story is Homeless to Harvard. She is an incredible woman and, came from a really tough background and found a teacher that really believed in her and inspired her. And she ended up going on a full ride to Harvard and graduated and has done tremendous things, even starting her own foundation afterwards. So she has really been someone that I think speaks to our population and what we hope folks are able to do, especially through our handout program. But
it's always a phenomenal event.
we love it, and it's a way for us to get to say thank you to some folks. So we're honoring 4 different groups. The first is our Legacy Award winner, who is Mike Metter, who will be retiring as a commissioner this year. But he has been tremendously engaged with our organization through his whole tenure, actually helped being responsible for the move. And then we do get a fee for service from Montgomery County, which allows us to serve folks in place of them putting infrastructure in and serving them in another capacity. Our faith partner this year is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We have great participation from them. We get peanut butter from them. We get volunteers, and they have a tremendous database for volunteers
Sure.
called Just Serve. And we always have folks out.
They're very generous.
They're a tremendously giving group, and we're engaged with lots of folks. So we'll have some of their higher level
Very nice.
folks here, and we're very, very excited. And then our corporate partner is Woodforest National Bank. They've been a tremendous partner of ours forever. They also send Cody McGillian, who does our financial literacy every single month. And then we also have a representative from Woodforest on our board that gives us great leadership. So we've been partners with them for a long time, and we're glad to thank them. And then my favorite is our Distinguished Service, because that's a volunteer that really just gives us their all. And this year it is Paula Odom, who recently retired from internship.
Paula's wonderful, yes.
And now she's a lady of leisure, I guess, maybe.
Perhaps.
But she is still serving on our board as a community volunteer now. And she has been tremendous to our organization. And she actually is one of them who helped start the Power to Care. So she has been there for, I believe it was 37 years. Both her.
I'm actually on their board, the Power to Care
Yeah, I
board, but we
know.
haven't met in a while.
I know. It's because we're running so smoothly. You haven't.
It doesn't
had to,
need to
no,
happen.
I'm just
I
kidding.
know, I know.
But it's a great event. We still need sponsors, and silent auction and tables are still available. And they can get any of that on our website, which is www.cac-mctx.org.
Okay, well, that's great. So it's about the census, and the census matters because it's about numbers, and with the numbers comes resources available for our community, our county, and it could be redistricting, more people representing us
Yes.
through the state, the country,
Federal, yes.
the federal government, local government, I mean, everything. So it really matters. It's not hard, online, or they'll come find you.
They'll find you.
So just cooperate. It's painless,
It is
right?
very painless.
So if anybody has any questions, they can connect with y'all at CAC?
Yes, and we have more information on our website as well. We have a whole census tab that's up now, so they can go there
Fabulous.
and look at it and get some more information.
So we should be getting something in the mail March 12th.
will be the first mailing, yes.
And then you'll hear back from them March 20th
Yes.
if you're not cooperating.
Actually, you'll hear back from them either way, because they said those first 2 are going to go out pretty rapid fire. So you'll get 2 mailings whether you want to or not, but after that, they're going to keep bugging you until you get it
Just
back
do
to
it.
them. So
Just
just
do
do
it.
it early. You count.
do it. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. This show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic Care, 3303 West Davis, by Conroe High School. And upcoming, we have Annette Spikes and Susie Pokorski and her team with the Young Texas Artist Competition. We're going to take a break. I'm Margie Taylor. We'll be right back.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
What is homelessness? Have you seen parents struggle to find a job without having transportation or childcare? What about the children sleeping in cars with nothing to eat? Families shouldn't have to struggle to survive, and children should not be homeless. Family Promise of Montgomery County serves the needs of homeless families and their children. Learn about ways you can help and learn about partnership opportunities at www.familypromiseofmc.org or call our day center at 936-441-8778.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Lone Star Boxer Rescue is a nonprofit organization serving Montgomery County and surrounding areas, dedicated to the health and well-being of the boxer breed. Lone Star Boxer Rescue is run and managed 100% by volunteers since 1999. Our main objective is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome boxers that come to us from many sources, including local animal shelters, owner surrenders, and strays. For more information about Lone Star Boxer Rescue, visit our website at lsbr.org.
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
And we are back. Our second guest today is Annette Spikes. She's going to talk to us about the Greater Conroe Arts Alliance big event, the Rising Stars and Legends of Texas, a little bit more. We have talked about it before, but things keep changing. You don't have to wear the earphones. No, you don't have to wear those. And I have Alexa also from Planet Lincoln talking to us and how she's going to help with a sponsorship, and she's going to help the Rising Stars. And the guest after this is Susie Pokorski, who's with the Young Texas Artist Competition. She's going to help both organizations, which is great. So I'm excited to hear about what that looks like.
I'm excited to
Annette,
share.
Yeah. Annette, this is coming up. This is starting next week.
Yes, it is.
So everything is getting in place, and this is going to be even bigger and better than it ever has. So one of the things, and all the events are taking place in downtown Conroe as well. So this is a great venue down here, lots of opportunities. And one of the things that's starting this week as part of it is the Conroe Art League is starting their Maidley exhibit. They're getting ready to hang up everything, and they're having their reception on Saturday. And then that will be ongoing through the 28th. But one of the events that I know that is dear to your heart is the Gospel Night. Tell us about that.
Well, it's dear to my heart because I happen to be chairing it. But we wanted to recognize gospel as an art because it's had so much influence in our countries, the history of our country, starting with the spirituals during our not so proud time in our history when people were enslaved. But from that came a jewel for our history, and that is the beginning of spiritual music that affected every genre of music since then. And every major artist at some point in time has recorded some form of gospel music. So we're trying to have everything, or we are having everything during Rising Stars in downtown Conroe. Since First Baptist Church is downtown Conroe, it's just the perfect place to have an event. And so we did Gospel Night last year.
It was great. It was fabulous.
Well, it was fun. In some of our organizations, there are 17 organizations in the Alliance. And so last year, 3 of those participated in Gospel Night. So this year, 2 of them are the Montgomery County Choral Society and members of the Jazz Connection are participating. And so to round out the performance, I thought it would be interesting to cover all the different eras of gospel, starting with the early spirituals. And we'll go right up to hip-hop gospel before the evening's over. We're going to cover the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, choral music.
You got cowboy music in there, too.
Yeah, country music.
I think about hanging out by the campfire.
Well, so anyway, we're trying to touch on every era of gospel music. And we have some of our own members participating. We won't have the whole choir, the choral society, but we'll have a good representation. Mm-hmm. We are not having the entire jazz connection, but we're having those that will cover the jazz era.
And they're so talented, those kids.
With saxes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have some of our own members, but outside that, I've invited some groups in town to participate from the various churches. And so I think it's going to be
should be a fun night.
Fun night with lots of different kind of music. I'm working with the tech person and the music director at First Baptist. We're so grateful to be able to use their building. And so we're putting together a good show and invite everyone to come out. And I can't thank Alexa and Planet Lincoln enough for being a part of this with us, and also the city of Conroe. Our city administration and our city council are 100% behind us in trying to promote downtown, and that's another reason we want to have all of this downtown. But the city is so helpful and so supportive. So we have many to thank during this week, and it's a week of fine arts where you're covering literary, visual, performing, and cultural. So there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
and they can find all the schedule of events on our Facebook page, Greater Conroe Arts Alliance, or they can go to greaterconroeartsalliance.com and see the schedule of events. But the one in particular you're talking about with the Gospel Night and the History of Gospel will be on March 17th.
Yes, 7:30.
At 7:30.
The time changes the week before.
Next weekend.
Yeah, so we've moved it forward 30 minutes, so it'll look more like 6:30 instead of 7:30.
Yeah, so it's actually St. Patrick's Day, but maybe there'll be a little jig or something in there. So that way you can remember that it's March 17th. So, Alexa, your organization, Planet Lincoln, is very generous. You've been involved in Montgomery County, Harris County, doing lots of wonderful things all the time.
Yes, ma'am.
And apparently it's continuing.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
tell me about your sponsorship and what you're going to do.
So we are sponsoring both the Greater Conroe Arts Alliance as well as Young Texas Artists. And not only are we sponsoring, we're also going to do a Driven to Give event. And it's going to be on Saturday, March 21st, time to be announced. But we will mark off a small area and we will bring out the 2020 Lincoln Luxury lineup. And for every person that signs up, we will donate $50 to both the Alliance and to Young Texas Artists. So there's more money to be made. So
All right.
up
And
to
that's gonna happen in
$5,000.
Downtown Conroe?
It's going to happen in
All right.
downtown Conroe.
So on the 21st, that's when our big lineup of events happens, right?
Right. I anticipate it being just behind the Founders Park.
Maybe the jury parking area somewhere
That's-
over down there
that's
where
where I
it's
think
not
we'll
as
have
crowded,
it.
so nobody gets hit or anything
Yeah.
like that.
And I'm calling all of my friends to tell them to come take a ride in one of the beautiful new Lincolns, one of my favorite cars.
Oh, yes, they're very beautiful, very much. When you think of luxury, you think of Planet Lincoln. That's,
Yeah.
might as well just start there, right?
Exactly.
Do you drive a Lincoln?
I do.
Of course you do. Of course.
A Lincoln Continental.
Oh, a Lincoln Continental. And they have smaller cars too,
Yes.
don't they?
Mhm.
I mean,
They
they're
have
not all
the-
the big box.
Right. The smallest one is the MKZ.
Yeah.
I bet it's nice.
It is. It's
And
very
I
nice.
loved the X. I don't know what happened to the X, but
It's just been replaced with I believe, the Knotless.
I think so.
And that's brand new to the lineup, but it's about that size.
So there's a lot of things going on. I mean, it starts the 12th next week. There's going to be a black and white photo exhibit at a place to be determined at the moment. So it's going to happen here in downtown Conroe, and we're going to hear the poet laureate is going to be out there starting on the 12th, which is a week from Thursday. And then we're going to hear shortly from Susie, who's going to tell us about YTA, Young Texas Artists, and their preliminaries, then their finals. But the big event, besides, of course, the gospel night, is the day after that, the YTA competition, is Sunday, March 15th. There's going to be the Legend of Big Band, and that's going to be done and performed by Montopolis at the Crichton Theater. And that's a 3 p.m., a matinee performance on the March 15th. And like I mentioned, there's going to be a free showing, a little vignette kind of thing, selections from Little Shop of Horrors on March 18th. And the big one, though, is Friday, March 20th. Best of Texas musician Marcia Ball at the Crichton Theater, and it's hosted by David Bourne, who's going to be on our show next Monday, by the way. And he is a Robin Williams impersonator. He's a comedian. So you don't want to miss this. This is going to be great. Marcia Ball is kind of a snazzy, jazzy, best of Texas singer, songwriter, and so you can get tickets for that, 8 p.m. Friday, March 20th. And then Saturday, March 21st, like Alexa was talking about, that's where you can do the, what did you call it?
Driven to Give.
Drive to give kind of thing, driven to give kind of thing. And for each time that someone gets in a Lincoln and drives, the organization will get $50.
yeah, which is wonderful.
$50. So all you have to do is get in the car and drive. You got to be the right age. You got to have your license, I'm sure. And, you
Yeah.
know, all
Over
those
the
things.
age of 18, valid
Yeah.
Texas driver's
Right,
license.
right.
And
So
then another thing, Margie, many of these events through the week are just complimentary. We want to introduce
Free.
the arts community to our residents. And then there are a few ticketed ones, but you can check that out on the website.
Anything at the Crichton is ticketed, but
Right.
everything else is free. And the wine events. You have a wine event,
There's a
too.
wine tasting that's ticketed, yes.
Your
And
wine- and you get a
YTA,
glass,
but they'll
though, too.
talk about that.
Yes.
Sorry.
And then there's going to be a Chalk Up Conroe out here at Founders Plaza, which is always a fun event. And that's absolutely free. And I think you even get a T-shirt. But you do artist type things, whatever you want to do, chalk art. And then there's going to be the Heritage Museum is doing some displays. There's going to be a Solaire string band at the courthouse steps.
Yeah, sponsored by and presented by the Heritage Museum.
Correct. And then there's going to be a children's theater workshop. Now that also, I think, is $20 to do that. But the Texas wine tasting with the Conroe Symphony Orchestra with little quartets and duos, that's going to be from 2 to 7 here in downtown Conroe. But you don't want to miss also the Chickasaw Aztec dancers.
Absolutely.
They're a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
all these things that are happening that Saturday will be in collaboration and at the same time as the Planet Lincoln Drive to Give.
Driven to give.
Driven to give. Driven to give. $50 each time you get in the car and drive. So there you go. GreaterConroeArtsAlliance.com to find all the events with the Rising Stars and Legends of Texas, or you can go to the Facebook page and find them on there as well. Anything else, ladies?
No, except to thank you for giving us this opportunity, Margie and Rick. Thank you.
Thank you. We
Okay.
appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. I'm Margie Taylor, and we're going to be back to hear about YTA, the Young Texas Artists competition with Susie Pokorski.
We have the safest food supply in the world. Strict laws and regulations restrict the usage of hormones, antibiotics, and pesticides within our food supply. Production agriculture practices and technologies such as the use of GMOs, which is not any more or less risky than conventional crop production, has allowed American farmers to produce more food on less acres in environmentally sound ways. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make lives better.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show. If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
Hello, and we are back again for the last segment of the day. And I am sitting here with Susie Pokorski. She's the Executive Director of Young Texas Artists Competition. And Alexa Horick is still sitting here with us talking about the Planet Lincoln Driven to Give event that is going to help out the YTA organization. And Allison Ayton?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. And she is going to tell us a little bit about the gala, the Bach, Beethoven, and barbecue, and the after party, the before party, the after party, and all of that. So, Susie, are you excited?
Oh, you bet.
You getting ready to roll here?
Live for this every year.
I know. This is your thing. This is your week of events. So it all starts out with the preliminaries, right, on March 12th?
Correct. We have the strings division that begins competition Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, March 12th. And that goes all morning, maybe early afternoon. And then Friday morning, those are free and open to the public, by the way.
If they're quiet.
If they're quiet, they have to come in and be quiet. Friday morning is our orchestral instruments division, and Friday afternoon is our voice division, and Saturday is the piano division competition, the preliminaries, of course. And then we choose two finalists, the judges choose two finalists from each division to compete in the finalists concert Saturday night, March 14th.
At the Crichton Theater.
At the
Tickets are
Crichton
still
Theater.
available, open seating. I believe they're $28.
They're $28 adults, $16 for students. Group discounts are available. And
So tell me
Get
about the
ready.
event. Why is this event important? Where are these students, young adults coming from?
Oh, well, we have a number of events. First, I'll talk about the reason for it all is the Young Texas Artists Music Competition. We're an official music competition of the state of Texas, the only one, I'm sure. We're a classical music competition for the four divisions of voice, piano, strings, and orchestral instruments, which is winds, brass, percussion, harp, and guitar. Our competitors come from literally all over the world. Last year we had 13 countries represented, but they must be have a Texas connection. They must be either a resident of Texas or studying at a Texas music school. They're typically 18 to 30 or 32 years old, and
Young
they
adults.
are fabulous.
They are very talented. So it's hard. The competition is hard. It's tough.
It's very hard. It's very tough.
So when you go to the final concert, you're just amazed
Yeah.
because of the talent. Any of them are good, but you're taking the top, the cream de la cream at the top there.
To tell you, many of the Texas music schools will send us their best and brightest musicians. We've had some of our alumni include Grammy nominees. Last year we had a Grammy winner. We have had singers go on to the Metropolitan Opera in New York and concertize around the world. People every year come up to me and say, I can't believe something of this caliber is in Conroe. And I just say, well, it's spread the word. Right here at the Crichton Theater.
Right. So leading up to that, though, you have other events.
We do. We have Bach, Beethoven, and barbecue, and our one of our wonderful co-chairs, Allison Ayton, is here, and she and Terry Husbands Giles are co-chairing that, along with Mimi Sadler. And
Tell me about the event.
Tell you a little bit.
This is going to be a
about
fabulous event this year.
It always is.
If you thought last year was good, you haven't seen this year's yet. We try to change it up just a little bit so that you're not coming to the same party every year because everybody wants something slightly different. So we've got a whole different theme this year, which you'll find out when you all arrive. So it kicks off at 5 o'clock with a reception, and we've got the gala and the reception being held in the tent, the Grand Pavilion, which is going to be directly outside the Crichton
Outside the Crichton Theater, in the street.
Correct, yeah. We've taken over the entire street. And we've got a wonderful venue in there. So you can arrive for the reception at 5 o'clock, and then we'll start the barbecue dinner at 5:45. There'll be live music. We've got some auction items for people. And then about 7:30, people can move over and listen to the concert. And then we have the after party back into the pavilion after that.
And the party goes on.
It does. We never close.
And don't you have like desserts in
We
there?
do. Yeah, we've got some desserts, and so we've got some donated desserts, and we've got a special bought dessert for
They're
people.
wonderful desserts too. The Conroe Service League
I remember that.
provides those, and they're really worth coming to the after party for. Plus, we'll have a special guest celebrating Beethoven's 250th birthday.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be very
Yeah.
exciting. But
So it's a secret.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Okay. Well,
You have to come to find out, right?
that's right. So the theme, though, is cowboy boots and barbecue,
well, the dress code is
whatever.
whatever you
Jeans
choose.
to jewels.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
But I don't want to spoil the impression when you walk into the room, because
Okay.
so you
just need to be ready for a
excitement.
surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you have a live auction?
We do have a live auction. Yep, we've got some donations from people, and we just literally picked up one from. I know Susie had picked up a great one. We just picked up one from Bernhardt Winery. They're giving us a wine tasting for up to 20 people, so that was generous of them to give us that. And then Susie
We do,
got a
and
great.
we have some wonderful. Planet Lincoln, I believe, is also. We'll be auctioning off a
Lincoln.
A Lincoln. Well,
For
no.
real?
Just for a weekend. Just for a weekend.
Okay.
And we always have some wonderful things, trips and things.
So tell me about how you're doing the Driven to Give also with them. What day are you doing that?
So it's the same day, March
Same day.
21st.
Okay, so and you're just splitting it.
Yes,
Right.
splitting it
So-
right down the middle.
Yeah, you're not
But
doing
that's
two
not
events.
the same day as Bach, Beethoven, and Barbecue.
Correct.
It'll
That's the
be
weekend
following
after,
Saturday.
the following
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes.
So, and you're going to go to the event, yes?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And so in your live auction is Lynn Hawthorne, your auctioneer?
Yes. Lynn
Okay,
Howard.
I know she lives for that.
Lady Lynn.
Lady Lynn, yes, with her snazzy attire.
People come just to see what she'll be wearing.
Of course they do. Yes, I understand that. What are some of the other items that you have in the live auction?
Did you want to tell them about the place that you secured in Walden?
Well, we'll have a package, weekend package to the new Margaritaville Resort. We'll have the Bernhardt wine
tasting.
event,
We were trying to keep it within the theme of bubbles and brews.
bubbly
So-
and brew, and we'll have some other sort of new announcements to make about that.
Okay,
And the Planet Lincoln will be part of the package.
okay. Yeah.
So we're still working on
For a
securing
week.
some other items.
For a weekend.
A weekend. You keep shortening this. A weekend. Does that mean unlimited driving wherever you want?
Yes.
For a weekend.
Within,
For a weekend.
For a weekend, yes. Within a certain amount of miles, yeah. You have to
Okay.
stay. You can't, drive it to Dallas or to Lufkin or Tyler or something like that. But you could drive it to Margaritaville on Lake Conroe.
They won't be open then.
I don't know when they open.
Well, they're opening this summer, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm meeting with them tomorrow, actually.
Great.
Yeah.
And
So
it
we'll
comes
see.
with a $200 gift card, too.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So it's like a date night experience.
Yeah,
So-
you can go find some wonderful restaurant, eat, enjoy, and get there and leave in a beautiful new Lincoln.
Right. The new Lincoln Aviator 2020, which is the hottest item.
So, if they want to find out about getting tickets to your Bach, Beethoven, and barbecue, they can go to your website, YTA. Help me out here.
youngtexasartists.org. And we also have, if they don't want to go to the barbecue, you can just come to the concert only at 7:30 that Saturday night.
Very affordable, $28 open seating.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's very entertaining because these artists are excellent.
Yeah. But
They're
that doesn't
the
include
top
the
ones.
barbecue. The barbecue's.
That's a separate deal.
And the barbecue is reservation only. You can't just
So you need to
walk
go,
up.
you can go to the Crichton, I think, and get the tickets
go to
too.
the Crichton box
Theater.
office, or you can go to our
CrichtonTheater.org, or you can go Google Young Texas Artists. You're also on Facebook and the event, and it's also on the Greater Conroe Arts Alliance
Right,
as well.
right.
So it's all over the place. There's no reason why you shouldn't go to these things. So, and it's also was featured in the article this week.
That's
Talking
right.
about it.
Thank
So
you.
there you go. So lots of exposure. Anything else you want to add, Alexa, Allison? Susie?
Y'all come.
Yeah, we still have a few seats left, just a few. We're filling up fast,
Oh, yeah,
right?
we've sold out the past 5 years for the barbecue, so get those
It's a fun event.
reservations in now.
Get there and be seen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all we've got for today. So I appreciate it, y'all. March is going to be a great month. Lots of stuff going on. And March Madness. Oh, and let's celebrate Texas today, right? What year
yeah.
is it for celebration?
It's Texas Independence Day.
It is Texas Independence Day, March 2nd. What year? How many? I don't. We don't know. We're sitting there with the big Texas right there.
You're asking the wrong person.
We're just
yeah.
saying happy birthday, Texas. Okay, Dick's going to let us know. Okay, TikTok.
We'll do it later.
Okay, and this show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Margie.
until March.
And thanks to Planet Lincoln.
Yes, thank you, Planet Lincoln. So preliminaries March 12th. Thank you all.
Today's show was recorded and broadcasted live on irlonestar.com, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and all rights and ownership are reserved to Lone Star Community Radio. For more information regarding this program and Lone Star Community Radio, visit us online at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, serving the community with local programming on TV, radio, and online. If you enjoyed today's program, please support us by sponsorship or starting your own show. Contact us today by phone or text at 936-666-1084 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.